movies. I almost said walk into welcome movies, which would be really stupid. Nick. Today I've come out to see Venom 3. I think it's called Venom the Last Dance. Why have I come out to see this film? Good question. I've seen the first two. That's it, really. I reviews are somewhere, probably in podcast format. I like. I think if you are not too familiar with the character of Venom, like if you haven't read comic books or anything, then you might enjoy these films a bit more. When my wife, for example, is really like the first film, didn't like the second film so much, but she really enjoyed the first film. And I think that's because she doesn't really know who Venom is. So for me, these films are weird because there's definitely some things in these films that you know are what Venom should be and how it should be represented, but it's not really the Venom that you expect if you watch the cartoons or read the comic books. So I'm not a huge fan of these films, but it's the last one apparently, and because I've seen the first two, I thought I'm gonna go and see this one and just see if it's bad or good or in the middle. And I'm not expecting great things, but I just want to be a bit entertained. So I'll give you my thoughts of Venom 3 after this. It was dark outside, so I thought I'd wait till I got home to tell you about Venom 3. It's not as I said, it's not a series that I love, but this was particularly bad. This one stars Juno Temple and Chiwetel Ejiofor, who has also appeared in the Doctor Strange Marvel films, but he's a completely different character in this one. Rhys Ifans is in this. He was also in the Sony Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man film, The Amazing Spider-Man, as the Lizard, Doc Connors, and was also in the last Spider-Man film in the MCU. So he's in this film playing a different character, which, are we that bereft of actors that we're having to repeat actors like that? It's weird. Stephen Graham's in this one again. And Tom Hardy is Tom Hardy. I mean, I really hope he enjoys making these films, because he doesn't look like it, if I'm honest. But otherwise, what's the point? This film is just a complete mess. There are kind of character developments that really go nowhere. Juno Temple's character has an accident. You see this in a flashback near the beginning of the film where she loses her brother. They mention some things about it, how it's affected her, but later on in the film, something else happens, and you're like, oh, was that a problem? I didn't realise that was an issue. Just really weird. The story just doesn't make sense. They're here, they're there, they're back there again. You're wondering why. They're supposed to be going to New York and they're leaving from Vegas, and then they end up back in Vegas. You're like, what's going on? Unless I missed something, because that's what it certainly felt like. Scenes happen for far too long for no reason. There's an extended sequence in a camper van where they're singing, and you don't really know why, and also why so much of it is shown. It's not integral to the plot at all. It is just complete filler. One of the worst sequences I've seen in a film for a long time was it involved Eddie, Brock, and ABBA, and I'll just leave that there. You can explore that for yourself. But they introduce a villain right at the beginning of the film, which is supposed to be why Venom is on the run. Venom is being hunted by these weird symbiote-like creatures, and you see this villain who is in charge of them. Maybe he's on a throne. It was quite dark, I'm not sure, but he was saying the leader of them, and he was saying that you need to get Venom and Eddie, because together they've got this key, and we need them to release me. So that's basically the plot of the film. This guy is no threat at all. You never see him do anything. It's completely underwritten, and so things just happen, and then they just don't go anywhere. It's so weird. And yet, there are some bits of the film which were okay. Like, some of the fight sequences were quite fun. I didn't find it funny, but other people found the film had some funny jokes in it. So maybe there's that there as well. But, you know, when you've already got a trilogy which isn't very good, to have like the worst installment be the last one is something. What do I even give it? 4? 4 out of 10? Maybe? It's a 3 or 4 out of 10 film. Like, I can't even decide which one it deserves more. It's not as good as the first. It's not as good as the second. It's by far the worst and most boring entry, in my opinion. I'm quite glad that this is the end of it. If you really like the first Venom, I don't think you might like this, but you won't love it. Yeah, I just don't know really who these films are for, because if you're a comic book fan, like I said at the beginning, and you know the Venom character, these films don't really do the character justice. So I don't really know who the target audience is, but it's gone. This is it. This is the end. Or is it? Because there's post-credit scenes. There's 2 of them. So probably not. But, you know, time will tell. And next we got Kraven the Hunter coming out in December. That's the next film in the Sony Spider-Verse thing that they've created. Yeah, so that's the thing. Is it going to be as bad as this or Madam Web? In fact, that's a good comparison. Whatever I gave Madam Web, this is one better. That's it. So if I gave Madam Web a 4, then this is a 5. Or maybe Madam Web should be a 3 and it should be a 4. Either way, Madam Web was worse overall. But this is a disappointment. I hope you get something out of it. If you go and watch this film, I hope you get something out of it. My screening was empty. I did go and see it in the afternoon, so I'm not going to say that's what it's going to be like, you know, for the prime time showings. But I was surprised that a Marvel film on opening day was as quiet as it was. There was probably about 3 or 4 people in the screening with me. Yeah. What did you think of Venom: The Last Dance? Are you sad it's the last dance? Was this a great final hurrah, in your opinion? Or do you think, like me, it was another wasted opportunity of a character that deserves more? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you as always. Until next time, remember that Flynn lives.